Of all the golf clubs I've tried in 2025, only one has blown me away. And today we're going to give you a long-term review of the TaylorMade R7 Mini driver. Now, of all the drivers I've tried, I've tested, I've reviewed for you guys, this is the only one that has stayed in my bag, and for good reason, to be honest, because I've actually played some really good stuff with this R7 Mini driver, both on camera and off camera, but there's a few things that I think I did totally wrong in having this in the bag. So I'm going to let you guys know that today. We're going to do a little bit of a more deep dive than just a standard review. You can get these still online for a quite affordable price, as you can see when Bob puts that in the corner there, but usually mini drivers would sell out. You wouldn't be able to get them. They'd be worth more than when you bought them new second hand. So why is this driver still available? Why could you potentially save yourself some money and even get a bit of a deal on one? And why do I think it's the best club released of 2025? We'll discuss all that in today's video. But first, the first tee here at a gorgeous Lindrick Golf Club this morning. It is November, not that you would know here. Now, one of the things I really love about this driver is that trip down nostalgia lane. I think it really works for me there. I really do love the memories of the old school TaylorMade R7 quad and the fact we have that new quad adjustable weighting system. Now, we've all seen the sneak peeks of the new TaylorMade driver on the conforming list, which Rory and Tommy Fleetwood are using in Abu Dhabi. I can't talk too much about it because I'm under embargo and I haven't even seen it yet, but something about this may well be working its way into the new TaylorMade driver. So one of the things I've loved about this so far is often we get to the first tee here at Lindrick or at Woolwich or wherever we're playing, we don't really have a warm-up, we just have a coffee. Like, nice coffee this morning, weren't it? And then we get straight to it. So I feel like here, this is the perfect driver for me just to get on the first tee, not really have loosened up, and hit tee shots just like that one down the right hand side of the fairway. Now, funnily enough, I actually took this to the guys at SGGT just the other day for a post-purchase fitting. We have tweaked it a little bit. I'll talk you through those settings as well, and we tried some rather expensive exotic shafts. Did it make a difference? The Fujikura R7 shaft is still in it, so the jury's out on that. So you can see there quite a nice low ball flight with that first shot of the day. And one of the things that I have tweaked on this driver is I've actually lofted it down ever so slightly, and that's helping me with the lie angle of this club as well. So I've got the 11-degree version. You can of course have 11-degree or 13, 11.5 and 13.5, and the 11.5s are quite difficult to get. The 13.5 you can get quite readily, but the 13.5 is probably the club that most people do want in their bags. Now, one thing that I have found, also the head cover game is quite strong, isn't it? I do love that flipped inside out look, but one of the things that I've really enjoyed about this, and there are some negatives in here as well, so stay tuned if you want some proper honest feedback on this club, but one of the things that I've really enjoyed is the consistency of hitting fairways, which is what this club is all about. And when I played in a competition at Woolwich Park the other day, and when I played against Brett here the other day, I just hit loads of fairways, and in relation to that I made loads of pars. I think I shot 2 over par at Woolwich and I shot 1 over par here, and it was just loads and loads of pars. Now, that is a little bit of boring golf, but realistically I'm almost up there with my playing partners or just behind them, but pretty much always in the fairway, which kind of really works for me, who often isn't in the middle of the fairway if I hit what's under that head cover there. So guys, these videos are of course as much about you as they are about me and my game. Guys, get in the comments below, what do you think to the TaylorMade R7 Mini driver? What driver do you have in the bag, and what driver would you love to have in the bag moving forward to 2026? I can't believe I'm saying that, but it's December in a few weeks' time. You love the clubhouse. What a lovely clubhouse that is. Now, usually on this first hole, it's nice to get past that bunker. You can see here, just in the rough on the right-hand side, we've got just shy of 150 in. I'm not going to play this shot because this isn't what the video's about, but that, for the first tee shot of a day without a warm-up, is pretty perfect for what I'm trying to explain to you all. Okay, so a good tee shot on the first there, and when it comes to more of a long-term review, a review of the longevity of the club, just what exactly are we thinking? So you can see I do have the heavyweight set in the front here. That does bring CG forward in the face. It reduces MOI and it makes it a bit more of a low spin weapon. I don't often use it off the fairway. That's one of the slight things that I do think you can't do as well with this as such as a Titleist GT280 or something like that. The TT280 does have a slightly smaller head, this being a 310cc head. But for off the tee, which is where I've predominantly struggled for quite some time, I have like hot days and then I have really, really cold, horrible days, and the really cold, horrible days really aren't that good. But you can see here on the second hole, I can just play a lovely kind of low shot down the left side of that fairway. That's absolute perfection. But then, say if I wanted to launch it up in the air a little bit, I really wanted to go after one, because so far they're a little bit of like guidey swings. I've guided one down the right, I've guided one down the left. If I throw it on a slightly higher tee peg and really move that ball position just slightly forward, get that sternum back, then I feel like I can launch it at a higher level. I can get that spin rate down slightly. I can hit shots just like that one. So you can see again down that left hand side, I actually struck that quite toey, but again it's down the left side of that fairway. It's launched a little bit higher. Now, when I say launch higher, that launched a bit higher. It's not the exact shot I wanted, but part of why I love this club so much, part of why it's staying in my bag for probably until TaylorMade release another mini driver, to be brutally honest, is that when I'm unhappy with a shot, the shot is still in play. The shot is still doing what I want it to do. It's still working for me. You see both of those shots work nicely right to left, and that again is something which I've worked quite hard on. And then that's the perfect shot that probably, I bet that only pitches around 230, but I bet it runs out close to 270, 280, which are my actual driver numbers as well. So far, when it comes to this club, I am struggling to find negatives. And I'm quite a positive person anyway, but whenever I struggle to find a negative about a golf club, does it mean it's perfect? Can TaylorMade improve on this? That's going to be the big question moving forward. Okay, so what are some of the key negatives about this drive? Because a long-term review is only a long-term review if we have some feedback as well. So one of the things I will say is I've been quite happy talking about being 10, 15, sometimes 20 yards behind my playing partners, but often, such as here on a par 5, does that mean we can't get on in 2? If we talk strokes gained percentage, ideally the further up the hole we are, the more likely we are to birdie the hole and obviously shoot a better score. But if I can hit 3 fairways here with this R6, narrow back here, Chris, isn't it, by the way?
Very narrow.
A lot narrower than what I thought it would be. Does that mean that I'm more likely to birdie the hole? You can see there again a lovely fade this time, just starting in the centre of the fairway, fading back, and it's short of the bunkers actually, whereas if I were to hit a full-size drive, those bunkers actually come in play. You can see I've struck that quite bottomy, and we've still had quite a bit of forgiveness. One of the things that I'm really interested in, and when I went to the guys at SGGT for a bit of a retro fitting with this driver, some of the ball speeds I would get were up towards the 160s. Now for me, with a proper driver, proper full length shaft and 9.5 degree, 160 is about my ball speed generally. So I don't feel like I'm losing too much ball speed. And into the wind here on the par 5 that we can just feel, am I more beneficial to hit that nice low penetrating shot? Even that one's not even pitched the fairway, but it's now bundling down the fairway, and I've hit that here. So days like today where I just don't have the driver swing that I want to have, I don't have the skill set to be able to hit the full-size driver, that's where this comes into play. That's where maybe I'm relying on this a little bit too much, but I've always thought if you have a club in the golf bag you can rely on, it builds confidence, it makes you feel more at one with yourself, and it makes you feel like you're much more likely to play good golf. Right, that's 2 fairways hit, albeit one a little bit further back. I would have hated to have seen that last swing with a proper driver. And that is an absolute bullet again down the centre of this fairway. Guys, get in the comments below, what do you think to this TaylorMade R7 mini driver? Is it a club that you could see yourselves putting in the bag this year or even next year if you find yourself a bit of a deal? But apart from that, I'll leave it in your guys' capable hands to get in the comments. Let me know what you think.